surprise for you tonight. Meron po tayong gagawin because this is video editing and it's kind of a bigger kind of heavy task. So it's I'm going to try groups as much as possible to give you some incentive if you are going to implement this and work on this project. So i-share ko lang muna sa Facebook yung link ng live, okay? Before I dive in. Okay, so there we have it. So now, officially start. Maraming salamat. Magandang gabi sa lahat. Salamat sa dedication nyo. Up until today, you've been attending our skill set or skills training every week. And I really appreciate your dedication. And that indicates that you really want to learn. Okay, so showing up is very important in learning. And even sometimes in a learning process, we don't feel like it. Meron po mga time and yeah, so I appreciate you so much for that, for showing up. That's an indication of someone who's really dedicated and willing. Okay, so now with that said, let's start with our video editing. And I'm gonna share my screen so that I will not forget. Lagi na lang akong nakakalimot to share my screen. So ang gagawin natin ngayon, hindi na naman slide, so just Google Doc. So we'll have one only Google Doc to use throughout this training kasi we are going to be more on implementation. So I'm going to demonstrate to you the editing process that we do. So the same process that I gave team. So I recorded a process for my team to do the video editing for clients. The same thing that I will show you tonight. So probably not to complete, pero it should be enough for you to learn. And I have a lot of resources included here to further your video editing learning so that kung ipo-pursue mo itong na career, you have the resources that you needed to go. Okay, so first and foremost, kailangan niyo po with video editing is that you have to have a decent computer. So, kasi pag hindi capable yung computer niyo, you will just be frustrated in video editing. I've had before yung computer na hindi masyadong high end. Even my computer right now is not too high end. Okay, so it's just if I show it to you, actually it's still fourth generation. Fourth generation is very old. Ako nagbago ng PC. I think mga 6 years na ata to. So, but still doable. Video editing, wala nga itong video card. Okay, so but still doable. But I tell you, it's really not that. What do you call this? Kung pabilisan ng editing, you have to really have to invest on the right hardware. Okay, ano ba to? So activate Windows and settings. Okay, later. Okay, so yan po. Ito po yung RAM or ito po yung specification, yung specs tawag po dito. Yun pong specification ng computer that could handle video editing. So ito po yung minimum. So minimum pa po yan. So for i3 at least, you could be lower than this, pero you will really have a hard time working on video editing. So at least Core i3, yung mga dual processor or for merong multi-processor na operating system, at least high-end system na operating system. RAM, yung memory, 8 gig at least minimum. And GPU is 2 gig. Ako wala akong GPU. GPU means graphic processing unit. Yun po yung mag-help to speed up the rendering and the editing process. Mas smooth siya. So, preferable investment. So, merong link binigay dito. And by the way, I will give you the link in the chat for this resource so that you could get into this. Okay, so sinend ko sa chat. Okay, let me see. Just want to ensure that it's actually shared. Yeah, shared anyone with the link. So you should be able to access that. Then here we have RAM. I-familiarize nyo po yung mga, ito po yung kailangan nyo if you are going to pursue video editing, you have to invest in RAM, SSD, and GPU. Ito po yung mga, one of the important, and even even the high-end CPU. So hindi ko na-list dito, but also I give you a resource here to watch this. At least you will understand the computer, what's inside, ano po tong mga parts na to, what are their functions like that. So at least you have a background knowledge about that. Okay, so when you are going to probably pursue a video editing career, at least you have that in the back of your mind that those are the things that you needed to buy, to invest into. Okay, because if you are going to be pursuing video editing, it will require you to invest on this items, because video editing, if you really going to be serious with it, it's going to pay you back more than what you are investing. Okay, so video editing will never be, I believe, will never cease until there's marketing. Okay, so businesses owners will always need video editing for their business. Okay, most of the media today is already in video types. Okay, so now proceeding on the video editing basics. So beginners, video editing terms and jargon. So I want you to understand this. Merong tinatawag timeline. So with that, i-open ko lang muna yung video editing tool na ginagamit ko or ginagamit ng team namin is what we call Filmora. So Filmora yung ginagamit namin, and also meron ding CapCut. So CapCut is free. You could start with this free. Even for Filmora, you could start with free. Kaya lang merong watermark. Yung watermark is that yung baga merong pangalan sa video mo na Filmora, made by Filmora, like that. So may re-remove mo lang yan kung mag-upgrade ka. For CapCut, libre yung CapCut. Okay, actually I upgraded this to Pro, but yeah, you could still use CapCut for free. And maraming feature ang CapCut. Meron lang ding mga pro feature na hindi mo magagamit or hindi mo ma-export yung tool mo, I mean yung video mo later on once you choose pro feature. So timeline. So ano ba yung timeline? So in video editing tool, in your video editing, meron yang tinatawag na timeline. So yun po yung in the video editing software. So ito po yung timeline. So dito po yan makikita. So yan po yung timeline dyan. So there is always time. You notice that? Merong time. So that's where you are going to drag your assets later on. Clips, yun po yung mga videos na gagamitin mo. Like for example, if, let me go to client files example here. And I'm gonna go with the raw files here. For example, this one, any video here, that's what you call clip. Okay, so asset yan. And if we have multiple videos, those are clips. Okay, so you could make those single clip to multiple clips by cutting and trimming like that. So cutting. So pupunta tayo dyan mamaya. Then cut, it's removing section of the video. Yun po yung ika-cut mo yan. So yan, this is what we call cutting. For example, this is a whole video. If I click cut there, so you see, I could separate that part or I could remove that part. So trim, and trimming is yung pretty much like cut, pero ito yung ina-adjust mo yun, yan yung trimming. So limbawa, you will see here on this part here, walang audio na, last part na yan ng video, so you could trim that out. So yan, you could shorten the video. Yun po yung trimming. Okay, A-rolls, ito po yung A-rolls, yung whatever raw file na ibibigay ng client, yun po yung A-roll, yung main files, yung main video na i-edit nyo. Yung B-roll naman, yun po yung mga idadagdag nyo lang sa A-roll. Kumbaga, yung mga stock footages, yung mag-search ka. Like for example, here, whenever we edit the video, like for example, motivational video, speak. nagsasalita yung client in the video, then speaking, then meron siyang sasabihing word, then we could search something in Pixabay or Pixels like that to replace the words that she mentioned, yung mga important keywords that needs to be emphasized to a stock footage rather than just the same face all throughout the video. Okay, so again, we will talk more about that later on. So resolution. So ang resolution is yung mga sizes ng video. So you have to fairly master this thing. You need to understand at least kung hindi mo pa maintindihan tong resolution, you have to search for that on YouTube to really understand what it is. Kumbaga, kailangan mong malaman kung anong size ng ini-edit mo even for exporting later on. So dito mo yan makikita later on once you export a file. So even here, you notice here, my resolution yan siya. So if I add this, if I check properties, merong resolution yan. So ito yung resolution. So 920 by 1080p. So yun po yung resolution. Then yung aspect ratio naman, which is the next one, yun po yung dimension. This one is, the aspect ratio of this is 16 by 9. It is that.
Just kidding.
Vertical po yung 16 by 9. So yung aspect ratio na ginagamit sa story, yun po yung 9 by 16. Yung pataas, kumbaga binaliktad lang siya, 9 by 16. So ito po yung 9 by 16. So you will have more understanding of this. Makikita mo halos ito yung mga portrait, itong mga different aspect ratio in Canva. When you're starting to create some design in Canva, Canva will ask you what types of design that you're going to use or what you're going to design. Kung Facebook ads, so it will provide you an aspect ratio and the appropriate resolution for that specific types of media that you're going to create. Okay, so now with that, I think those are most of the basics that you needed, and also familiarize yourself with different aspect ratio of social media platforms like sa Facebook feed, 16 by 9, 1 by 1 or square. Kasi when you are going to edit video for a specific platform, you need to format it on the right format. So ito po yung ginagamit namin for video editing for clients that I ask the client to record in vertical like this. And then later on, for longer videos, for shorter videos, actually pwede lang to i-record niya for a vertical kasi yung vertical pinapublish lang namin sa Reels and Shorts, yung vertical. So ito yung 9 by 16. Yun po yung mga shorter videos like 19 seconds. Pero kung mga tips like that, which we're going to be editing tonight, yun po pina-vertical ko sa client so that when I edit, it's going to be uploaded on Facebook and also it's going to be uploaded on YouTube. So yun po yung primary locations or places that we will be uploading those horizontal videos. Yung pag ganito, yung 16 by 9, okay, yung wide screen. Tapos pag na-upload na siya in YouTube and Facebook as widescreen, ini-edit namin into different aspect ratio. Like for example, we could edit this later on to be 9 by 16 like that. We could adjust that. Now, if I drag that here, notice that it will ask me na iba yung dimension niya so kaysa sa project. So eto, ipipilian ko to, so you'll see na magiging ganyan. So you see vertical yan. So may block sa taas, may block because this is the original file. So we have to adjust that to fit in the vertical to remove the blocks. Okay, so we will see to it later on. So notice that. So ganyan yan sa pag i-upload namin. So that's why it's important kung shorter videos lang, I'm asking the client to just record it on vertical para magitna niya talaga yung ma-focus niya yung item. Kasi even it's okay to actually just upload this on vertically like this, big video files. Or I mean big format. Okay, so in-stretch natin siya to fit into the vertical aspect ratio of the editor. So again, we could adjust that back to original widescreen. So dito mo yan i-adjust. So there you have it. So now we have to adjust again the size of the video to fit in to that to the canvas. Okay. So there you have it. So Now, I think that's, again, please review this later on, yung mga different aspect ratio, because if you're going to upload specific files, like for example, ang ina-upload namin sa client is 16:9. So 16:9, anong mga social media that allows 16:9? So Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, no, not TikTok, 9:16 yan, vertical yan. LinkedIn, 16:9, so pwede. So yun yung mga locations that you could upload a 16:9. So later on next week, because social media yung gagawin natin, so you will learn to upload those videos or content on social media, on different social media sites. Okay, so that's why you have to learn the proper aspect ratio, because to ensure that it will be maximized. Kumbaga, we will take advantage of the location, or the location of where it's going to be uploaded, or the channels that it's going to be uploaded, either on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and so on. So you have to properly format the video. Okay, so now with that,
Just getting ready to dive into this
oops,
beautiful ceviche salad.
kinabahan ako bakit may nag-speak. Okay, so now learning resources from editing for platforms. Ito yung mga editing, mali yata yung headline ko because it's mixed. So ito yung mga YouTube channels that I recommend you. So I watch marami din nila akong pinanood na videos coming from these YouTube channels, and they're good. So that's why I recommend them, that if you're going to pursue video editing, subscribe to this YouTube channel, follow them. So isa din yan sa mga gagawin natin, as if you really want to learn, so we have to follow the right people. Okay, so yung pong may mga expertise. For example, kung Premiere yung gagamitin yung tools, you have to search for YouTube channels that speaks and teaches about Premiere up until you reach the level of the mastery level. Okay, especially on mastering the tools and platforms that has been taught in that specific channel. Okay, even for what specific tool and platform that you wanted to master for video editing. So ito may mga maraming learning resources, even if you are going to go in Premiere. So if you log in, kung Premiere yung gusto mong matutunan, so you have that in Adobe. So once you're subscribed to Adobe, by the way, Adobe is I think 1,400 per month. So ang subscription ko for Adobe, but it's already all the products of Adobe. Edit yung After Effects. So you notice here, whenever you are going to use any platform or tools, you will always find them there on their site, a video training. Okay, so you don't have to buy expensive courses just to learn something. So just master the basic, how to use the tool. For example, for Premiere Pro here, so meron siyang learn. So yun is that, meron siyang create project, explore Premiere Pro panels. So you will really master the basic just exploring the provided free resources from that specific tools and platforms. So just remember that whenever you're going to use a tool, that specific company, that tool provider will always provide you a complete instruction, complete guide how to use that specific tool. Okay, so you just have to be resourceful and be diligent on spending the time on learning, especially the basic. You have to master the basic of the tools. Okay, so with that said, maraming mga resources dyan. And one of the thing I already taught this to you on week number 2 of our skills training, that whenever you see any resources that you could find for that specific skill, you could always do something like this. So you could create learning resources like this. Kung copywriting, you could save, you could bookmark learning resources, you could create bookmarks and folders in your bookmark, then you could bookmark them on the specific folder, so that whenever you need to learn about graphic design, about copywriting or video editing, you could just go back to that later on that resources later. Or you could do something like this. You could collect all those things and put them in a document, so that whenever you need them, you could just go back to your document later on and spend your time on the learning journey. Okay, so it's just a matter of priority management and organizing your learning environment. Okay, so now with this, next one is we have video editing tools. So ScreenPal, I already explained this on the previous weeks that we had. So how to use this. So I already demonstrated to you that. So eto, if you're going to work for clients that is going to be providing educational videos, you could recommend them ScreenPal. Okay, so it's pretty easy to edit. So you can master this editing tool. Kung gamit nila yan, ito yung gagamitin ng client. So they could just upload the video to Google Drive and download to your computer and edit to your computer. So it's pretty easy to edit in ScreenPal. So Filmora, ito yung gagamitin natin tonight. And probably we'll touch CapCut. So I'm not sure, but most likely we're going to use Filmora. Canva, so meron ding video editing sa Canva, pero just letting you know that Canva can do a decent job on simple video editing tasks like cutting, trimming for shorter videos. So remember that it's not going to be friendly on heavy and longer videos that requires a lot of meticulous editing. Like kung malaki yung files mo and malaki yung video, like mga 20 minutes like that, I don't recommend Canva video editor because it's going to require you a lot of time. And also maglalag yung Canva kasi web-based kasi siya, tapos magre-require siya palagi ng internet. Okay, so tapos malaki yung file na ginagamit mo, it will always load up the resources, kaya maglalag siya. Okay, so because it always requires internet. So Camtasia Studio, ito yung previous tool na ginagamit ko before Filmora and CapCut, before ko na-discover itong dalawa. Camtasia is also good, but it's quite expensive. Mga, I think $300 ata to. Last time nabili ko is mga $299 pa yung older version. So I have a old version of this, which is I haven't upgraded na. So ito lang yung gamit ko for now kasi napakamura ng Filmora, mga $49 per year lang for single license. So sinishare ko lang sa team ko. So ang problema lang sa single license that once my team member log into the other computer, malalag out ako dito. So just palit-palit lang. Okay. So now with that, mayroon ding VideoVault. By the way, VideoVault is another tool. Ito yung ginagamit ko for client, especially kung wala pa silang mga intro, wala pa silang outro. Merong bayad ito, but it will be worth it. You could ask the client to pay for it. You could just price nito is pretty inexpensive. You could start $9 a month. So you could just charge that to the client whenever you create. So ito yung ginagamit ko for creating intros like that. So opener like that. So maraming mga already pre-made templates dito. So you could create amazing intros for your clients with this tool. Okay. So just letting you know that you have that resource here. So in video, pretty much like that. So you could take advantage of their pre-made templates. So Content Fries, ito yung ginagamit namin sa team to actually create or repurpose longer videos para yung long video magiging marami. Kumbaga, it will be cut to different sizes, like mga tag 60 seconds or 30 seconds, 40 seconds, tapos i-distribute siya into reels and shorts. Okay, so you will learn more about that, about repurposing on our social media work later on, or training next week. Then Adobe Premiere Pro, ito yung mga advanced tools on video editing. So once you learn this, by the way, these tools, you will be treated as highly skilled video editor if you master these tools, mga Premiere Pro and After Effects. Okay, but again, it will require you to invest on your hardware. Okay, so kaya for me, I don't edit much of the videos. So kumbaga, I just help my team to do a few of the video editing, but I delegate most of them to the video editing work to them. Okay, so but if you are going to have this tool for yourself, it's going to be needing resources. Okay, so yung my PC itself can handle Premiere Pro, After Effects, but it's going to be medyo laggy talaga. So you have to, kasi wala rin akong GPU. So that's important on your video editing. Again, for you to just getting started, Filmora is already a decent, even CapCut and Filmora is the most recommended tool that I recommend for beginners, because you don't necessarily need to learn a lot of styles like that, or manual editing, manual animations like that you could do on Premiere and After Effects. Though ang Filmora is medyo advanced na rin yung mga video editing editing ano niya, and meron din mga pre-made templates, so you could actually accomplish better videos. Okay, so Audacity, ito yung ginagamit ko for audio refinement, like kung i-remove ko yung background noise like that. Merong mga background noise removal naman yung platform or yung Filmora, like for example, and CapCut, pero sometimes hindi siya decent, so I have to use Audacity to actually export first the audio, then just for any videos that really requires cleanup of the audio. So you could watch YouTube videos on how to clean up an audio using Audacity. And Handbrake, ito rin yung ginagamit namin to convert larger video files to smaller files. And now, in video editing, common bite-sized tasks, yung treatment cuts, you have to know how to do that. Kumbaga, like for example, for some of our clients, kung meron silang webinar webinar, so i-send nila yung raw file sa amin. So can you trim and can you remove the first part like that? Okay. Kasi merong time, di ba, yung mga preparation pa lang, wala pang activities actually, wala pang welcome like that. So we have to cut that out so that ang ma-upload na finalize na file is yun lang part that actually the official start of the program. Okay, so doon yun magagamit. So color grading, color correction, audio syncing, yung kumbaga they have a separate file. Ito yung ginagawa ko for our church. Meron kasi kaming I recorded our Sunday sermons and choir. So separate kasi yun, may audio yung galing sa amplifier and mayroong audio sa phone. Yung yung phone lang kasi yung ginagamit ko for recording the videos. So yung microphone ng phone is not decent, lalo na pag malayo. It will have a lot of noise cancellation mangyayari. So medyo basag yung audio. So kinukuha ko nire-record ko yung audio sa amplifier. So sinisync ko yung properly syncing yung video at audio. So i-remove ko yung audio ng original video at gagamitin ko yung sa recorded sa amplifier. So audio cleanup, so yung gagamitan mo ng Audacity kung kailangan, like that. So convert to other formats. So yun yung pwede naman yung mga video editor, when you have a video like this, you could actually, when you export, and by the way, I think I was logged out here kasi nag-log in yung other team member ko. So I could just log in first. Log in po muna ako saglit. Okay na po ba kayo? Just make sure kung meron kayong tanong, meron kayong hindi naintindihan, just let me know. Okay. So there you have it. Log into this device. So yun, isa lang kasi yung license ko. So kumbaga lahat naman ng mga editing tools, meron na siyang option kung anong format mo siya i-export. Okay? So you could do that. So you have a lot of options. So in our case also, we could use Handbrake. So Handbrake is standalone program that you could use just for converting to different formats like audio MP3 like that, so or other video formats. So the only problem with Handbrake is just more likely on converting. So sa video, kung kailangan mo pang i-edit ang video before you convert to other formats, so you have to use video editor like Filmora. Then compress large footages. So the same thing, I use Handbrake for that. Our team uses that. Then change aspect ratio. So yun, I already showed earlier. So yan, you have to, ito yung change ng aspect ratio. So you have to familiarize yourself yan kung ano yung different aspect ratio. If the client would say, or if you yourself already understood that kung kailangan i-upload sa Facebook, tapos Reels, kailangan vertical yan. So you have to know how to switch to different aspect ratio so that it will be able to be uploaded to the right social channel. Okay, so let's proceed. And there you have it. So now, eto na tayo. We are going to be video editing. So ito po yung workflow that we have for our team. So first and foremost, this is how I provide video editing service for clients. Of course, there's always preparation. And one of the thing is you have to collect all the information. That's phase one, preparation. One of the things that I do is collect necessary information from clients about their business, about their products they're offering, and then their target audience. So isa to sa mga kailangan mong malaman so that you know how to or what to put on your mga content, especially that should be related to the client's target audience that will resonate most about them. Okay, so branding assets. Okay, so mga branding assets kailangan i-collect mo yun sa client so that when you're editing, you could just drag and drop those assets on your software later on. Then have a shared folder. So whenever we edit videos, ang ginagawa for client is that I create a folder in Google Drive. So ito po yung Google Drive namin. For example, for client, I create raw folder like that. And then I ask the client to put all the raw folders. Halimbawa, magre-record siya sa kanyang bahay like that. So for example, this is one of our clients. So magre-record siya. I sometimes craft the script for her. So ito yung i-record mo. So she just modify the script because she's the expert. Okay, so I use AI tools like ChatGPT to help her give some ideas to what types of videos to edit. So yun po yung one of the things that once you master copywriting, so you will know how to craft a script based on different copywriting frameworks. Okay, and then ibibigay ko yun sa client. So you could modify that script then record. So yung ginagawa sorry for my stuttering. So ang ginagawa niya is that once she recorded, ito yung sinet up namin to earlier. So I just created a raw folder for her, and then ang gagawin ko is that you just have to put that on that raw folder. I-upload niya sa raw folder. So once she uploaded that, then our team will get those raw folders and download them in our computer so that we will be able to edit them. Okay, so yun po yung ginagawa namin. Then after we edit, we upload that for approval. Then after we approve, then we move that to posted. So gumagamit din kami ng mga what we call this project management to track the progress of specific tools. Okay, so going back to this row. So ito yung kadalasang format namin sa Drive. So meron kaming raw folder, tapos produce, dito po namin i-upload yung tapos na namin i-edit. Tapos ang branding, so dito namin sinisave yung brand ng client so that whenever the team needs the branding assets to use for the client's videos, dito niya lang ikukunin yun. Then archive, so ito po yung nilalagyan namin ng mga project files. Later on I will explain that. So merong comment? Na-catered ba kayo ng bloggers locally regarding video editing? No, currently I didn't. I have no plan to cater po video editing for local. So our clients are most likely on coming from US. Okay. So now again, step 3. Instruct the client to put all the raw videos in the raw folder. So dun po niya i-upload sa raw folder. So ito po yung format namin. So those are the preparations. So once the client's already used to it, okay, so she record, and then once you record, just drop it on sometimes if you need to instruct the client, especially this client that I had that we have here, she's already 64, 65 na ata this year. So she's not too techy. I have to give her instruction. I have to record video for her. So this is how you do it. So you have to actually instruct. So that's why it's important to know how to use some of the video tools like ScreenPal or Loom to give instruction to your client to guide them if they need it. Okay, so hindi lahat ng client are tech savvy. So once you are a tech savvy person, you have to help them get through so that you will be able to implement this project properly. Okay. So now in video editing, so phase one, step one. So let's do this. So ito yung gagawin namin. So we already have a Google Drive folder, right? So like for example, we have a Google Drive folder. Ang gagawin po natin locally, so naglalagay ako ng nagsisave ako ng local files, the same thing. So like for example dito, so I create some client folders, like client files like that. So I will name it to the client, and the same thing I will create the raw folder para dito ko rin i-save yung mga raw folder na i-download ko coming from the Google Drive. So once I-edit ko to, so I will have to download that onto this raw folder, and then yun na yung gagamitin ko for editing. So yun yung i-fetch ko dito. Okay, so I'm going to show you that process later on. So let me just explain. Next up is this is how we structure it. So kumbaga may branding asset, raw, produce, the same thing. Pretty much like what we had on Google Drive. Okay, kasi yung produce mo dito, you also have to upload it on Google Drive so that the client could check it. Kasi hindi nila ma-access to kasi local to. So you have to upload that. Okay, you have to upload that to the shared folder to the client. So graphics, kung mayroong gagamitin graphics to your videos, you could do that. To music, so that whenever you need music, background music, or sound effects like that, you could just open that folder and fetch those musics that you have to use. Okay, so kumbaga ito yung screenshot. This is like something. It's going to look like this. So folder, name ng client, then branding asset, so graphics, music, producer row. So yeah, so one of the things is that you have to make sure you are organized beforehand. Kasi especially when you're going to serve multiple clients, you have to have a hard time to look for a file if you're not organized in the first place. Okay, so yeah, so that's how we organize things. And then step two, you have to download. Kung dito may raw files ito, but what you have to edit, i-download mo na yan sa offline folders na ginawa mo. So like for example this one, so I have to download that here because I'm going to fetch that later on the video editing tools that I'm going to use. Okay, so step three is that you have to get all the branding assets. So yun, download that locally so that you don't have to go to the Google Drive later on. So you already have that local copy. Then use project management tool to track progress. So ito yung ginagamit namin, ClickUp. So ito yung example, like for example like this. So merong video editing one. So then yung video title. So ito po pala yung ClickUp. So you could create projects on ClickUp. Then when we are editing, so later on, you see we could track the progress of that. So we could assign kung sino yung nag-work. So kailan ang due date. So we could use project management like this so that we could track the progress of that specific task. So we see here that's already in progress, like for example. Yeah, so that's how we do things. Or you could use a spreadsheet. Or sometimes kino-combine namin yan, spreadsheet at ClickUp. Because we don't usually, ito yung principle ko is as a serving the clients in our team, that as much as possible we make our client get less time on the supervising of the work. So that's why we don't necessarily have to ask them to be part of the project management tool that we're using. We just give them the view of this so they could view the progress. They just they could just see the progress. So ito yung ginagawa ko dito. Like I add a progress so that they will see if the task or the video editing task already been done or been worked on, so they could see that publicly. They don't necessarily have to log in and get involved. So meron din kaming tinatawag na chat. So ito, nagchat kami sa client whenever we need something. So we just have to speak, to communicate with them like that. Okay, so if we need something, so yun yung Flock. Okay, so some clients use Slack. Okay, so yeah, so just communicate with that, and then yeah, then here we have also we have to edit the video using the best editing tool that can accomplish the job. Okay, so merong question. Sir Clint, may Bible study kami ngayon. Mag-out na ako, I will watch the replay. Okay, okay po, Sir Carlito. Take care po. Okay. All right, so now export and upload the produced folder for client review and approve. So ito po yun. Once you already edited the video, you upload that. Then step 7, repurpose. So optional na po to if applicable. Yung longer videos, we could repurpose that, shorten that to like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, like that. Yeah, so there you have it. So now here's our editing checklist. So kinopya ko na to and nilagay ko sa aking editing tools like this. So ito yung sample project natin. So I'm going to give you a sample project. I'm going to show you how to edit video using Filmora. So Filmora muna yung gagamitin natin in this training. But you should, once you familiarize any tool, even the basics of the editing, yung sinasabi ko kanina, yung trimming, cutting. So at least if you're not going to be able to catch up what I'm talking here, for us to save us time, so I will cease from explaining a lot of things. So what you could do is go to help. Okay, so merong Filmora walkthrough, user guide, video tutorials. Okay, so you have these resources whenever you need help. Okay, I also added those YouTube channels that you could go to later on if you wanted to understand the basics of things. Kung hindi mo na gets. Okay, so now the first thing that we need is to have the checklist. So ito yung checklist namin. So descriptive project naming. So kailangan descriptive yung name ng project natin. So ang ginagawa namin is whenever we use ClickUp, ang ClickUp kasi is it will provide a ID. So if an example, if this is the task, so meron yung task ID. You could see that here, copy ID. So with that, mas madali naming mahanap yung ginagawa naming or ini-edit naming video. Or like for example, I will provide review to the video that the team created. So they will ask me to review the video. So I will just record the video and then I will say, I will type in my file feedback for video. Then I will just type in the ID. So alam na nila kung anong pinoprovidean kong feedback. So they could just search that here. Okay, so they just have to edit and update whatever. So that's ID system. Okay, so I could also add that here, ID, task ID, like that, and click up. Okay, so yan, ikukopya ko lang yan. Tapos yan ang yung name ng folder namin. So yung gagawin namin dito is, for example, if this is the raw file, so mag-create ako ng folder. So it's much more organized to do this instead of trying to do this like that. So mahirapan tayo dyan. So new folder, and then I will name that folder with that ID. Okay, so yun po yung i-reference ko, yung task ID. Then halimbawa, ito yung project natin. And by the way, I will have a contest. So we will be implementing this as I'm going to proceed later on. But let me just jump in for our video editing project. So ito yung gagawin ninyo at the end or this week. So we have, I created a sample project for you here. So you could access this Google Drive later on. Meron akong dalawang video files dito. And I also have the raw files. Dito, you don't necessarily have to put it here, okay? You have to create your own folder later on. So sa branding assets, ito yun, you could just download that and use that on your video editing. Okay, so whichever you think is appropriate. Then meron tayong raw files dito. You could select which one that you'd like to edit. Okay, so it's up to you. And it's kind of a longer video, but that should give you enough learning capability exploring the editing tool. Okay, so by the way, you could use Filmora. Regardless, merong watermark yan kasi if you are not going to upgrade. It's okay, so because this is just a sample project, and you could use that later on to show that if you're going to pursue video editing, you could use this as one of the video editing project that you did. Okay, so and we also have some contests. Okay, so first prize I will award you with 1,000 pesos, second prize 700, third 500, fourth 200, fifth 100. Okay, so to reward your effort, please. Then deadline of entry is October 6th, and announcement of winners will be October 10th. Okay, so just so you know, ang mga files dito is, I think we already uploaded this to our clients' social media, so we're safe. You're safe to just edit this, okay? Just don't share it publicly because though we don't have a NDA or non-disclosure agreement with the client with this, she's okay. She trusts me on her works. So please don't share this publicly, okay? Just on our group, okay? Just on our group for the work, especially on submitting later on. So instruction, pick up one of the provided raw files. So you could pick which one you'd like to do your editing here. Step 2, you could edit and video apply what you have learned. So ito yung gagawin natin later on. Then create your own Google Drive and upload your produced work. Gagawa kayo ng sarili nyong folder sa sarili nyong Google Drive. So ang paggawa nyo is you have to be organized like what I did here. So you create your own folder like sample client. So you could name it, and then you could create a produce folder like this, and then you could share that later on. You could share that produce folder. And by the way, name your folder with your name so that I know that it's yours. Okay, so mahirap ma-identify. It's whatever your name is, name it. Then share it, make sure it's shared to anyone. Okay, ganito yung sharing sa folder. Okay, anyone with the link, so that I could access the content of that folder, the produce folder. Okay, so yun yung i-upload nyo so that I could access and give my review. Then post the Google Drive link on our Facebook group. Okay, so same thing, and then use tag. Use hashtag YouTube video editing mastering. Okay, so yun yung tag natin gagamit, video editing mastering. Okay, then criteria for winners. Once you apply the editing checklist, quality of work, quality thumbnail, follow the instruction. Okay, so ito yung instruction natin, so you have to follow it carefully. So you that showed me that you're showing you're attentive to details. Okay, so those are our work, what we're going to do. Yun yung contest natin for video editing. Okay, so hope you will enjoy. So enjoy editing. So this is for everyone if your computer is capable of doing the edit. Okay, so kung wala kayong computer for editing, you could probably try to go to internet cafe. Just giving you an idea. Most internet cafe already have a high specs, so they could they be able to cater video editing. Okay, so I don't know kung meron pang meron pang internet cafe ngayon. Okay, now descriptive project naming. So itong gagawin natin. So one of the things that we do is of course descriptive project naming. So I name that. So ano yung gagawin ko or ida-download ko dito sa raw, like for example this one. So I already know that like for example lot of times I'm gonna download this to my raw file. So download anyway, and then save as. And then I will put that on my folder, on the folder that we created for the client. So sa raw file, then yung ID na ginawa natin kanina. So you don't necessarily have to use ClickUp, okay? So this is just a minor project, so you don't necessarily have to use ClickUp. So this is just a test project. So just showing you the flow of our editing. Okay, so just probably because in the future you will be become part of our team in video editing, then you know how we do things. So at least you have some experience. Even you could apply what we have when you're working on other on clients of your own or with other team. Okay, so we paste the ID and then there you go. So at least we are consistent of naming things. And there you have it. So now we have that downloaded. So there you go. So now we open Filmora. So we open natin Filmora. So naka-open na yan. And then ito, I will import that file. So ito yung file. So I will import that here. And then again, descriptive naming of the project. So save project as. So isa-save ko na yan. So the same thing sa client folder ko lang i-save. So mostly, hindi ko na ilalagay yan in a folder. But since we created a folder, we could use that in that folder. I could save that there. And the same thing, yung anong pangalan ng name, anong pangalan ng file name, just remove the .mp4 kasi video yan. And then we still include the ID. Then click save. So there you go. So na-save na yan. So this is one of the things that I do firsthand. I always save the work, except for CapCut because CapCut actually wala siyang save, automatic siya nagsisave. Okay, so for Filmora, kailangan mo talaga siyang i-save. This is going to help you later on, especially kung mag-edit ka, magpa-power interruption. You have to at least you have saved your project consistently when you're doing the editing. Okay, so especially kung wala kang UPS. By the way, I didn't mention the UPS, yung uninterrupted power supply. Yun po yung UPS. That's one of the things that you have to invest. I will add that to the document later on. At least kung magpa-power interruption, at least hindi ma-off yung computer mo automatic. So you will have at least 5 to 10 minutes to save your work. Okay, so it's good to have one. So there you have it. So now we have that. And the other thing that we could do is to import also the other materials like the branding. Okay, so we already have that here, the branding assets, the video, this one that I wanted to use, the subscribe thumbnail, subscribe move. I will probably use that, the logo. There you go. So I will just drag that in here. So now I already have that. So by the way, this one, I don't think I need that. So I'm going to delete that. So I think these are the primary videos that I need or assets. So let me just go back if I still have anything here. So asset. Opener. So I need this opener here. So intro. So I think pareho lang tong intro at opener. Yeah, I think I already have those. Okay, so if you needed all these assets later on, kung mag-edit kayo, kung hindi ko na-upload dun sa branding assets, remember it's on Google Drive. So just let me know. Kung I think I already uploaded everything there. So dito sa ating shared Google Drive, so you should be able to find that on the sample client. So branding assets. So yan. So almost. So ito yung books. Keto cookbook. So that's one of the product of my client. So yun yung inalagay namin sa video. Then now we have the video. So we add that to the timeline. So insert. So ito yung format niya because that's vertical widescreen. So import. And there you have it. So there you go. So the first, you have to go back to the checklist. Remember descriptive project naming. So I did that. So I name it, I save it. So I also added that to my ClickUp here. So with that, ang gagawin ko by the way, when naming my project, since I already named them properly, so you have to go back to my raw folder and I have to name it with the proper name of the video. So like for example, this one here, the lack of time. So ito na, i-name ko yan sa ClickUp. So I know that that's the exact video that I'm editing. So hindi ko na kailangang ilagay yung ID kasi ClickUp already have that ID. So now I actually created a task here. I called it edit. Then inilagay ko yung mga tasks or yung checklist here. Check. So I could just, once I did that part, so I could go back here and mark it as done. So I'm done with that. So at least you see that it will show me a progress that I already did that. So add graphical representation, B-rolls, add branding. I think hindi na to in order dito. So I'm going to go back to document. So color correct and color grade. So anong gagawin natin dyan? So how to color correct or color grade the video? In Filmora, madali lang. So you just have to double click. So by the way, bakit natin to ginagawa una is because later on we have to cut. Like for example, ika-cut natin to, i-clean up natin. Once we apply it later, like for example, ito by the way yung color correction. So you have to go to color. So you double click the video. Tapos you go to color. So dito mo i-apply yung color correction. So mayroon ng mga presets dyan, or you could do it manually. So if you scroll here, merong mga temperature like that. So yan yung color correction. So you adjust mo yung temperature. By the way, I have to disable flux kasi naka-orange yung screen ko. Hindi ko makikita yung original color. Yeah, so yan yung adjustment ng, you see that this is what we call color correction. Okay, so meron namang mga preset. You could also save your preset later on. So ito yung problema pag i-apply mo ito later on, you see pag na-cut na to, tapos i-apply mo dito, you see hindi siya ma-apply sa lahat. So that's why before you clean up, you cut and trim, make sure you apply the color correction first. That's why I intentionally I undo things. Okay, so before I cut, I put this color correct and color grade first. Okay, so I also give you some resources here. Watch that. It will be helpful for you to understand color correction, and it will expand your knowledge about that. Okay, here again, double click. So I'm gonna apply color correction. So eto, meron kang mga options yan, color. So basic, dito ako sa basic. So meron akong options actually here. So I have presets here. Na-save ko na talaga yung mga presets sometimes for clients. Like for example, like this. This is actually, I use this for the preaching of our pastor. So every week. So yan, I don't have to adjust this manually below. Yan. So I don't have to do that, the manual adjustment. Ito yung good thing about presets is that once you already found the perfect, by the way, iba-iba yung video, the lighting of the video, so you have to really manual adjust sometimes. Okay, so like that, so you have to manually adjust. So again, I already have the preset, so I could just apply that. Like for example, this one here, or probably this one. So this one is kind of hindi bagay sa video na to, like it's too light, or it's like masyadong yung ano niya sa noo, like that. So probably this one, or this one. So I think this one. Okay, so I use that. And then once you do that, once you just have to go back, you go below and at least do some additional adjustment if necessary. So again, you just have to really, again, you have to review this color grading. At least you understand what would be the appropriate color grading for a specific video. Kasi depende po yan sa video na ini-edit nyo. Kung for cinematic like that, kung ito is just instructional video naman to, video helpful tips from a nutritionist, so I have to adjust that accordingly as a theme that she's doing, or yeah, so to resonate with the audience. Okay, so I think that's perfect. So vibrance and saturation. So you really have to understand all this. Then, so at least you have to spend spend time, invest time kung ano ba yung tint, vibrance. So one of the things that you do is of course to do some experimentation. So kung gagawin ko to, what will happen? You see? Okay, so you just have to experiment things. And of course, it's good to understand what that does, specific setting does. Yeah, I think that's perfect for me. All right, so there you have it. So I'm done with the color adjustment. So I could go back to my task. So I could go here, and I think that should be on here. So hindi siya na-arrange dito, but that's okay. So I know that what I've already done. So the next step is of course to clean up, trim and cut. So i-trim na natin siya. Like ang ano ba yung dapat nating i-trim or i-remove? Yung mga place na, for example, this one, it's if you zoom in, by the way, my zoom is control mouse up, okay, mouse down, control mouse down, zoom out yan. Dito sa timeline, kung i-hover mo yan dito. So yan yung zoom in, zoom out. So you see here, empty yan. So you don't want to wait for that long.
Great.
You see? So you could cut there. So ito yung cut, by the way. So you see, para siyang gunting, right? So you could click that here, or the shortcut is Control P. So you'll have always the shortcut. So cut, and there you have it. So I could just remove that. So there.
Greetings, I'm Lee.
You see? Wala na yung unnecessary. Then pag merong mga parts sa kanyang video that says like that, so those are other places.
Greetings, I'm
Other places they actually have to cut out. Okay.
Liliana, a certified nutritionist, and I'm excited to address a common challenge that many of us encounter, the lack of time. In our fast-paced
Yes, I think walang necessary cut out dyan.
lives, prioritizing our health often takes a backseat, but fear not. In this video, I'm thrilled to share some effective strategies that will empower you to conquer the time.
Yeah, so I think the most places that you do the cut and trim is the beginning at the end of the video, like this. Ito turn off pa niya yung phone. So yan, so you have to cut that out, right? So hindi mo yan isasali sa edit mo. So there you go. So cut that and delete. Okay, so there you have it. So the cut and trim is done. Of course, it's not yet done completely kasi all throughout we have to cut kasi we have to listen to it later on and implement the cutting and editing. Okay, so going back to my list, not necessarily that I have to check that's done. So hindi ko pa i-check yan. So let's move on to the next one. It's add branding. So adding branding. So ito yung logo. So we have to add that somewhere in the video. So ilalagay ko dito. Like for example, you see that's the logo. So that's the branding. So probably this place like that, or probably this part here. Of course, again, remember in graphic design, balance, okay? Proper positioning. So hindi magandang tingnan yung logo like naka-edge siya ganyan. Okay, so that's edge to edge. So again, remember balance, you have to put that on the proper location, and then balance yung padding sa side kasi nasa corner siya, you have to balance that on the side and also at the bottom. Okay, so of course you have to give some distance to that. So there you go. And then of course, since yan, ito yung tinatawag nating timeline kung saan niya nag-start at ito yung dito siya nag-end. So therefore, kung hindi pa abot yung timeline dyan, so it will not show up like you see here. So dyan pa na-show yung logo. So that means you have to really drag this. Kita niyo yung sign. So yan, you have to drag that to the beginning, and also this one till the end. Okay, so till the end. So you have to drag that till the end so that it will show up all throughout the video. But of course, later on, you have to adjust this kasi magti-trim ka pa sa video. So later on, ma-shorten na yung video mo, tapos itong logo mas mahaba na siya sa video, so you have to cut that like this. Cut, trim. Trim mo lang. Okay, so that's it. Then I will just lock the video for now, I mean the logo for now, so that will not be touched. So yun yung lock option para kung ano yung gagawin mo dito sa ibaba or sa other elements, hindi siya ma-touch. Okay, so there you have it. And the other thing that I could do with the logo, of course, is to animate it. So good thing with Filmora, if you double click the element, so you have your animation and you could do that. So pretty much the same with all of the other tools. So like for example, probably I want this. Let's see what will happen. See that? That's how, that's what it is. So slide up. So simple, mga simple lang na animation like that. Vortex. So I like CapCut, by the way, in terms of animation because napakarami nilang animation. Unlike Filmora, it's just mga basic animations. Then there you have it. So, and also the other thing that she mentioned here.
I'm Liliana.
So I could also add the titles. So merong titles dito. You could add maraming titles, by the way, ang Filmora. Once you understand how to use these titles here, you could use this like that. So merong animation already mga like this. Tinatawag dito lower third. So mga lower third, mayroon ding title like that. So you could use that. So for me, I already saved my titles. You could see that on custom here, like for example, this one. So I could just drag that there. So when I play that,
certified nutritionist.
So there you go. So she said Liliana here. So she.
Greetings, I'm Liliana.
So I could move this. Let me zoom this in. So where she mentioned I'm Liliana. So dito ko siya i-aim. So
I'm Liliana, a certified nutritionist.
So I think medyo matagal din. So I think dito.
Liliana, a certified nutritionist.
See? So that's how you could put that. So by the way, you have to zoom ko muna. So you have to move this. I click this individual elements, then I could move this somewhere, probably here. Okay. And there you have it. And hindi siya masyadong readable, so you could adjust the text. So you could double click this like that and click advance, and you could edit the text. Okay, so like the text could be adjusted. Meron siyang individual colors, or I mean individual properties. You could add outline, make that readable. Like you could add block there, outline, just adjust the opacity, or like so. Yeah. So that's what you could do. You could also add shadow like that. So wag mo lang masyadong i-add. So again, dito mo ma-apply yung design principles. If you have spent the time on the design, so it's good because once you understood the principles of design, you'll be able to use that also in your video editing work. Okay, so there you have it. So now it's much readable on a light background. Okay.
Liliana, a certified nutritionist.
And by the way, naglalag na siya, okay? Because nag-zoom tayo tapos nag-edit ako ng video. That's why you need to have, so ang kagandahan ng sa Filmora is you have this quality. So you could adjust the quality. So para hindi masyadong mabigat yung rendering or when you play back.
Liliana, a certified nutritionist. And I'm excited.
You see, medyo hindi siya clear kasi ina-adjust niya to 1/4 quality. So that's okay kasi hindi pa naman to export.
To address a common challenge that many of us.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I already added the basic branding. So sometimes also we add a introduction like opener here on this part. Like for example, sabi niya.
Nutritionist. And I'm excited to address a common challenge that many of us encounter, the lack of time.
So dito sabi niya, the lack of time. See, I could see the space there. I could actually insert that. And by the way, when you want to cut out, when you cut, you have to select this and then cut. Kasi pag hindi mo i-select yung element, like this one, this is the video. Like example, dito ako sa labas, linik ko sa labas. Pag i-click ko yan, ang cut, makakat lahat. So you see na cut including yung image at yung video. So kung gusto ko i-cut lang yung video, so I have to select that. You see, ma-highlight naman siya, makita mo kung sinong sinelect mo. So click. So siya lang nakakat. Okay, so with that, I could insert here the branding that we had. So dito sa media, like this one, I think this one. Yeah, I'd like to add that as opener para to establish yung branding. It's not necessary to do it, okay, on every video. We could actually use this as outro. So yan, i-insert ko siya dyan. I could actually move this. So you could actually move this at the top. So yung eto, dito ko na siya i-add sa second. Okay? Then eto, see, hindi pa siya, kasi I just have to adjust that. Like so. There you go. So
Time.
yeah, so in this part here, you see my logo dyan, may logo, ang pangit tingnan, di ba? So with that, kung saan may logo, so we have to cut this one here. So cut that, so i-adjust natin dito. There you go. So by the way, nag-automatic adjust, so we have to do it properly. So ito yung gagawin natin. So split and then delete. So yan, namumove siya. So you just have to drag that back. Okay? So yan. So ito din, na-move siya. So you have to adjust that back here. So there you go. So wala nang logo kasi wala na dito yung, hindi na yan mag-show up yung logo dyan. So there you go.
Time.
Then continuation.
In our fast-paced lives,
There you go. So another one is, I think we could add some transition here. So dito may transition. So you see here, maraming options yan. You have effects, you have transitions like that, titles, you could add something like that. So kung gusto mong i-add ng text there, so you could add, so effects, transition. So gagamitin ko yung probably this one, light clicks. So let's use that, for example. Let's see.
counter the lack of time.
Yeah, I think it's just too long.
Of time.
There you go. And then I could add also this in here.
In our fast-paced lives,
Yeah, I think you see, kahit nakalogo pa, nagsasalita na siya. And that's okay.
in our fast-paced lives, prioritizing our health often takes a backseat.
You see, so that's branding. So I already applied the branding. So I could go back to my task and then apply that I already did that. So it's important to have the checklist so that you will not forgetting things. Okay, so that's why one of the things that you do if you are new to editing at kung hindi mo pa ito na master, of course ma-master mo yung kailangan mong gawin later on as you do this often. Pero pag bago ko pa lang, you have to really go back to the checklist kung mayroong kang nakalimutan or may nakaligtaan. Actually, I have to update this kasi may kulang dito yung adding transcription, but probably that's going to be on, we could add that later on. So there you have it. So yan yung editing. So marami pa dito. Add visual effects. So zoom in and cut, add graphical. So tapos na tayo sa branding, opener, tapos graphical representation, yun yung mga B-rolls. So meron tayong mga resources like 3 pixels. You could download mga footages here na pwede mong gamitin to the video. For Filmora, you actually have here a stock media. Meron din siyang pixels and Pixabay automatic. Nandyan na siya dito. So on Splash, you could actually search graphics that you could use on the video. Like for example, she said here, the lack of time.
A common challenge that many of us encounter, the lack of time.
So I think not necessarily that you have to add there.
In our fast-paced lives, prioritizing our health often takes a backseat, but fear not.
Yeah, so you could listen to the video kung ano yung pwede mong gamiting keyword to search for something to replace her face. So that the entire video is not just her talking, but to emphasize what she's saying. Okay, you could use stock footage for that.
It takes a backseat, but fear not. In this video, I'm thrilled to share some effective strategies that will empower you to
effective strategies that will empower you. So yung keyword like empower, so you could use that empower. Let's see kung probably happy woman. So kumbaga you have to really be anong tawag dyan, creative or ano yung you have a broad knowledge about yung mga keywords that you could probably think of other terms. Like for example, she said empower, but I could think about woman, like happy woman, like that. So you could convert that into something like that. Like this one, I could also think like, let me see this. Not that, so that's photography. How about this one? So I'm imagining a person who's happy, enjoying like that, empowered. Or yeah, I think this one here, actually. Yeah, so like that. So you just have to drag that. Like, for example, this is the video that I found. So you notice,
In this video, I'm
so let's listen to,
thrilled to share some effective strategies that
yeah, so this one, this part, that will,
empower you,
yeah, so there you go, that will empower you.
strategies that will empower you to conquer the time barrier and seamlessly incorporate healthy choices.
Yeah, so there you go. And I think she mentioned healthy choices like that. So probably I could replace this with healthy choices or food like that in here. Yeah, so that's where your creativity and your resourcefulness comes in. You have to select the proper footages that will represent what she's saying. Okay, so that's the goal here, that we are going to let her let this footages replace her face on some part. Okay, especially on those special important keywords that need to be emphasized in a using stock footages. Okay, so that's one of the things. So you already know how to do that. So you just have to insert that somewhere. You just have to adjust the length or how long would it be. So you have to make sure that you know when to cut it. So you have to know when it makes sense and when okay, so you don't want to make it too long tapos hindi na yung ibig sabihin ng sinasabi niya sa video. Okay, so next, yeah, so you just have to find the right videos on those resources. You have free pick, so you just have to find the specific keywords here, like for example videos like that. You just have to type in happiness like that. That could be, or food, enjoying healthy lifestyle, something like that. So you could use that keyword. Yeah, and then you could probably use woman like that. So if that's the target audience of the client, so that's why you have to know the target audience of the client. Then yeah, the target audience, by the way, of this client is women like her. Okay, that are health enthusiasts. Okay, yung mga health conscious. Then yeah, so that's the thing. Then the other thing is use cut, zoom in and out. So that should be zoom in and out. That's not zoom in or out. Okay, this is how to do this. Kasi ang goal ng video is as much as possible retain the viewer, and hindi, that's also the purpose of adding this footages here, to retain them, at least hindi yung face niya palagi nasa screen. So eto, like for example this part here, I want to zoom in. Kinakat ko yan. So like for example this one here, cut. So before she speak,
remember that.
So there you go. So with that, you see this is normal zoom. So ang gagawin ko dito sa nakat ko, so i-double click ko yan, i-select ko siya. So you notice na select na siya. So I will be going to this crop. Okay, so crop. And then what I'm going to do is to zoom it. Okay, so zoom. Yan. Zoom. So I would probably make this bigger like that. So you notice na naka-center pa rin siya. So apply. So may apply. So you notice naka-zoom siya. What will happen here?
Remember,
you see? Yan yung zoom, you cut zoom in or zoom out.
Every small step matters. With a dash of planning and a sprinkle of creativity, you can weave wellness into your life effortlessly.
Then dito naman, as she going to speak here, so I will cut again here, and then I will crop. So isi-select ko, hindi na to, ito na. So crop, and then I will now reset this. I could probably adjust this bigger like that, or I could just actually reset this to original and then apply like so. Notice that?
Discover hidden.
See?
Discover hidden pockets of time.
So yun yung zoom cut. Okay, so you have to apply that couple of times throughout the video to really have zoom out, but you have to apply it on the right place, yung before siya mag-start ng another word. Okay, so again, so combination of footages, then zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so and then insert subscribe, like, and follow. So you could search for those like here in stock media. So like in pixels, I could search for subscribe, like for example, subscribe. Then here, merong subscribe button dyan. Let me see. I think this is what I like. Ito ba yan? Yeah, you could use that. Medyo malakas lang. So yeah, so let's just use that. Let's use it. So I could drag that here. Of course, it's still above the video. And notice naka-green screen yan ha.
Organizing your daily schedule. Unearth those hidden moments that
Yeah, there you go. So what I have to do is, you see my audio yan. So you have to adjust the audio for that. And of course, the first thing is, of course, i-adjust mo yung green screen. You have to remove the green screen. So i-double click mo yan. So punta ka sa color. And then sa color, color here. And you have to go to, oh wait. So color. And then, no, video. Tapos AI tool. Okay, so sa video ka sa AI tools, tapos chroma key. And then, there you go. So, isi-select mo lang kung anong green yon, but it's already been pre-selected, the green color. So, there you go. The green is already removed. So, nawala na yung color.
under
So, you still have to adjust the size, of course. So, adjust that. So, wag mo namang masyadong lakihan. So, just place it on the right place.
earth those hidden moments that can be dedicated.
You see, medyo hindi siya klaro again because we have 1/4 quality. So, if you full quality that, so that should be,
Unearth those hidden moments that can be dedicated.
see that. And of course, now you could adjust the audio like this. You could zoom in and adjust it here. You could just adjust that. And or what I could do here is actually, I could duck that audio. Dito mo i-deduct yung audio, like you could go to, ito yung isi-select mo yung video that hovers that. So you notice if I click this video that nasa ilalim niya. So I could go to audio and then audio duck. Click that and you'll notice na adjust siya automatic. You see that? So if I disable this, you see that? So if I click that, you see na adjust siya. So if I play this,
Unearth those hidden moments that can be dedicated to self-care.
you see hindi na siya masyadong malakas. So that means you could adjust the color duck here, audio duck. So to higher, so you notice mas na bumababa siya. Okay? So you see that. So I could probably want it to be 68%.
Unearth those hidden moments that can be dedicated to self-care.
You see? So hindi na siya masyadong disturbo sa video. So that's it. That's color, audio duck. Then moving on. So again, you have to apply that zoom in, cut, zoom in, out, cut, zoom in, then cut, zoom out. Okay, so alam mo na kung paano gawin yun. So there you have it. So you have to apply that all throughout the video. And remember, you have to apply this footages. So you have to listen to the video kung saan appropriate. So yung paglagay naman ng video, dapat yung mga footages, dapat yung mga lalagyan mo lang yung mga important parts. Okay? So mga important na kailangan i-emphasize through footages. If you could think something like yung words na sinabi niya is good to be represented to a video footage, then you could do that. Okay? Pero wag mo namang gawing ganito. Like for example, dito may footage na yan. Tapos ilang second lang, nilagyan mo naman ng footage ng ganyan. So ang nangyari,
choices into your daily routine.
like that. Okay? So wag naman. So just have to have a proper distance. And again, think of where you have to put it. Think always that yung lalagyan mo yung mga pinaka-importante. Okay? So with that, add visual and sound effects. Mga visual sound effects, dito mo yan makikita. So you have effects here. So you could probably add, I haven't actually used much of this, but you could explore the effects that you could use here, mga stickers like that. So those are visual effects. Yung mga sound effects naman, dito mo yan makikita sa audio. So merong mga effects dyan, like sound effect, yung mga wow, like that. Yung, kung kailangan, like for example, whoosh. Yan. You could apply that, like for example, kung merong mga elements that you could apply. So just letting you know that you could do that. So those are optionals. Okay, so add CTA, yung mga call to actions, kumbaga, kung merong ipopromote na specific product for that specific video, then you could do that. So like for example, for our videos, some of the videos of this client is actually about recipes. So yung ginagamit namin or ginagawa namin is that we add a cookbook like this. So we just add this cookbook somewhere here, and then
Remember that
See.
every small
we could put that somewhere in the video. So that it will be promoted throughout the video while they're watching.
remember that every small
See, so we could do that. You could place that if meron tayong call to action. By the way, to create something like this, it's just a text. Dito makakreate ka ng text sa Filmora. So once you create a text, you could adjust that. So like this, I could just, if I double click that, I could edit it. You see meron siyang mga text. So you could go to advanced, you notice here. So this is one of the things that you have to master. Ito yung using the text editor. So kumbaga merong animation dyan, you could add animation. You could adjust the text that you're using. You see here, merong text dyan. You could also add an image. Kaya naka-import ako ng ebook dyan. So I could animate it. So you see here, may animation siya. Same thing with the text. So you could go with animation. Just proper combination of animation. Okay, so don't overdo animation that it will look it will look a distraction. Okay, so just smooth animation that will complement the video. And of course, the color branding should be consistent with the video or the client's branding. Right, so of course, hindi naman to about cookbook, so I'm not going to add that call to action. So walang actually call to action probably in this. So I didn't watch the whole video just yet. So probably it's going to talk about anything else. And probably the call to action at the end would be about follow for more, like that. Don't forget to subscribe. So pwede kong itong kopyahin and then ilalagay ko in the other parts, like ilang minutes. I could add that again, so to invite them to subscribe, and then even at the nearest end of the video, like that. So yan, before the video ends.
who may also benefit from these strategies. Stay tuned for more video.
Yeah, so I think wala na tayong call to action na necessary ilalagay kasi she already mentioned. But I think at the end, we could still add that branding that we have here. Instead of using this as an outro, we could still use that as an outro here. There you have it. So now I'm done with the editing. So of course, hindi pa tapos. I already showed you how to add those elements. So you just have to search for stock footages here. So hindi mo makita yung appropriate images. You have the other sources like Pixels, Freepik, Pixabay. Freepik. So yung Pixabay, Pixels, nandiyan na yan sa Filmora. So yan, Pixabay. So you just have to search the right keyword. And yeah, so we already have the outro and then end screen. So by the way, yung end screen, yung end screen, yun yung sa mga ibang channel. If you watch other channels, ito yung end screen. Go to Pixels, end screen. Yung kumbaga, if you watch GAGs or even other channels, you could have this at the end screen. Kung merong mga videos that could be related to this, you could add that. So this is just a letting you that you could do that in the video. Okay, so for example,
Wellness journey, wishing you boundless health, energy, and joy.
Oops, mali yata yung in-insertan ko. So I have to insert that on the right place. So of course, that should be after this. So again, you could add another video here, video there. So that could be added later on YouTube. Okay, so yan yung end screen. Okay, of course you have to adjust the branding of this. Okay, so that's what it is. Again, that's just optional, add in screen. Kung merong, if you have the overall knowledge of the content of the client, that might be another video that could be related to that video, so you could add that in screen, and then the client could just put that later on. And by the way, the end screen could be added directly on the video editor of the video. It's a studio, a YouTube studio. So that could be, that doesn't need to be added here on this video. Then create video thumbnail. So yung mga video thumbnail, kumbaga kung pupunta ka sa YouTube, isa yun sa mga mag-i-invite ng clicks or open, right? So you have to understand the psychology of using thumbnail like this. You see here, meron ako mga ni-reference about thumbnails. So merong changes about the thumbnails. And then here, meron ding video na nilagay ko how to use how to create video thumbnails. You could use Canva for that. And actually, I could use here, I could actually create thumbnails using here, using, what do you call this? Using Filmora. So ang thumbnail, of course, is going to be at the very beginning. And it's going to be millisecond, mga one millisecond lang. So yung ginagamit ko dyan is, like for example, this one, ito yung thumbnail that I already created. So I could just drag that. That's a good thing about when you already have a title. You see that? That's just millisecond, 1 millisecond. Kasi hindi yan kailangan i-play. So again, you have to properly place things out so that yung video mo, of course, still could be seen properly. Okay, with that, so kailangan mo i-position properly. Okay, so again, you are going to apply, when you create video thumbnail, you could apply, or you could use Canva for that to add the video thumbnail for your video. And again, study those resources that I added here, how to create a thumbnail and about thumbnail. So you could use Filmora to do that, as long as you understand the psychology of what to do and what's the components of a good thumbnail. Then export the right settings and upload to the folder. So ito yung gagawin natin. Like example, we already did that, so hindi ko na gagawin yung thumbnail. So yan. So yan na yung...
Greetings.
Yeah, so let's assume that I'm already done with everything. So I'm now going to export the video. So the video now, you see here, walang thumbnail yan. So you could create the thumbnail. You could make it part of the video like that. But again, you could custom design the thumbnail using the designer tool of Filmora, or you could use outside tools like Canva. Then you could upload that on the right folder. So remember, we have those already saved. So in my case, I have that folder here, the same place. I'm gonna upload that to the row, the same thing here. But yeah, I have to upload that on the produce folder. Okay, so dito na sa produce. Then I will just select folder. So since naka-name na yan, so I don't necessarily have to create a folder with this ID. So meron namang ID ang file name, so I'm good with that. So just on the produce folder, so I could easily find it. So there you have it. So once we're done, so you notice here the duration is 4 minutes, so it will take time. So I will just cut a few so that you'll at least see what should be done next. So like for example, ito lang yung export ko. But what I did is X. Yun yung tinatawag na range, select clip range. Yun lang yung may export. So I just export this para mas madali. Yan, 26 seconds lang. So you know what to do next. So yan pag-export, so you have to make sure that you properly choose the right resolution. So that's why, since widescreen to, so you have to export it as widescreen. Then what else? The right frame rates, and then the right settings. So most likely you could use match project settings. You could do that. Pero kung kailangan mo i-convert to lower file size, you could adjust here the bitrate. So yung bitrate na yan, you could adjust that to probably 2000 like that. So it will give you warning, but it will make the file smaller. You see that 7 MB na lang. O instead kung i-match to project mo yan, so it's 26 MB. So malaki ang diferensya. But anyways, when you adjust it to 2,000, still that's going to be a bit of quality. Still okay. So even ang lower is 4,000 or 6,000, you could adjust into that. Okay, so there you have it. So I just use Match Project kasi maliit lang naman ang file. So export, and there you have it. So now I just have to wait for a couple of seconds. So it says, ilan ba yun? At least 26 seconds, right? So once we're done with that, so let's assume that's already done. So I'm going to go to the produce folder. So it should create that file. You see, it's now exporting. Let's just wait for 34 seconds. Then after that, since the instruction for our here is to post that to Drive. So you have to go to your Google Drive once you already created your own produce folder in your Google Drive. You have to upload it there. So go here on, so na yun. Go onto that shared folder. I mean, on your own folder, you have to create your own Google Drive folder, and you have to put that on the produce folder that you created, and then upload that there. So eto, once it's done, so it should show me if it's already done. So but in that case, hindi pa tapos, I could just upload some other that already exported. So like this, so I could just copy and upload that. So that's how to upload a video that you produce. So it say here 1 minute. So you just have to wait for that to finish. And then once that's done, you just have to share this folder to me. So copy the link, and then you just have to post on Facebook, on our group, hashtag with video editing mastery. Here's my produced work. So there you go. And then I will check your work, and by the way, you could name your produced work with your name. So whatever your name is, so you could name whatever your name is, so that I know whose work is that. Okay, so I could name it like that. And once you share that on Facebook, so that should have your name. So at least when I open it, then I could access your video. And don't forget to ensure that your folder is going to be set to anyone with a link, so that I could access the video, or anyone in the team or anyone in the group could also access that to also, probably if they have an input, they could also provide their feedback. Okay, so that's it. So that's how you edit the video. I know it takes a bit of time because it's video editing. And again, spend more time on mastering this tool. So go over and over, and then kung meron kang nalilituhan, again, go back to the help walkthrough to master those tools. Kung meron kang problem when using the editor, then just explore the help. And then again, don't hesitate to ask questions, okay? And always ask for help. Just you ask help from me or anyone in the group kung hindi mo talaga ma-figure out. So I could probably give a video instruction follow-up video to help you figure things out of what your problem when you're doing the editing. Okay, so that's all there is to this. That's how you edit videos. That's how we edit videos for clients. Pretty simple. You just have to make sure that you implemented all those checklists so that we produce quality content for client. Okay, so they have their branding. So again, yun yung mga resources that you need. Okay, so let me know kung meron kayong mga questions. Do you have any concerns? Are you still there? So let me just take a look. By the way, I will just browse thumbnail, example in my YouTube. You notice that yan yung mga thumbnails. So yan, mga thumbnails. You see, it's a good thing that you have a thumbnail. You learn how to use or how to create a compelling thumbnail because that will invite clicks, okay, or open to the video. Yeah, so I think that's all of our training tonight. So let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Again, you have this copy. I send it to chat. Also, I'm gonna add this later on and send it via email. And that's pretty much it. So ito yung gagawin nyo. You have to produce this video and upload it in Google Drive, and that's our contest. So if you did it, I will pick a winner who did the best work. Okay, so this is our criteria. So regardless, merong watermark yung Filmora, that's okay. Kung hindi kayo mag-upload ng Filmora, that's okay. Okay, ang importante is that you have implemented those principles or checklists that we've added to produce quality video. Okay, so questions? Sa totoo lang, it's my first time to see how editing is done. Hope to learn. Oh, that's a good thing, Sir Richard. Yeah, you could learn, and that's the purpose of our skills training. So you could learn and explore. Okay, so Filmora, you have to download it. Okay, so i-download, i-install mo sa computer mo, tapos once you already install that, you could open that in your computer and start editing. Again, you have all the help here: Filmora walkthrough, user guide, video tutorials, help center. So you have everything that you needed to get started with their platform, and then implement what we talk about here. So that's simple video edit. Pinaka-simple pa lang itong pinapakita ko sa inyo. And more advanced training, more advanced training would be about yung Premiere, After Effects, like that. So those are more advanced training. Yeah, so importante yung ma-master niyo yung tool. Isa yun sa mas madali ko na kasing magagamit or mapapakita sa inyo because I already use this a lot. So you have to master all these tools. You have to explore a bit of time in this. So ano yung mangyayari pag ito yung gagamitin mo, like that. So yung text or tiles. So spend the time. At least on the first part, on the first stage of your learning, you have to master the tools that you're using. Okay, so medyo it takes a bit of time for that. Tapos on implementation yan. I already showed you yung trimming, cutting, inserting, something like that. Hindi ba madali? Yeah, it takes time. Madali siya once you already master it. It's pretty easy actually kung ma-master mo na siya. Actually, I'm not really in a level of let's say yung mga talagang high-paying editors. So basic editing yung pinapakita ko sa inyo, but it's still you could be paid highly with these skills with video editing. So that's why I provide you all these training resources that you could, if you want to be more on a higher level of video editor, you might be. Dito pa lang po tayo sa simula is that you explore video editing if you really like this. So explore it, learn it. So hindi pala ganun kadali ang video editing. Yeah, so go back to the basics. So that's why I've got you through the the graphic design fundamentals, kasi magagamit mo yung mga design principles in your video editing to really make your video look good. Yeah, so watch more training videos, especially on using the tools, and of course applying those checklists. Again, you could watch this video that I showed you along while you're working. Like for example, kung gagawin mo tong project, you could watch this replay while doing your work. So yun yung ginagawa ng team ko is that when I give them instruction, so ito yung like example, meron kasi kaming notes in our work, for example for client. So meron kaming chat. So every chat namin meron akong ginagawang notes. So any processes that I provide to them, so I provide them the instructions. So let me see, like for example this one. I give them videos, so they just have to spend time on that. So like for example, for another client here, there you go. So I created the notes for the video editing process. So I gave them all the resources that they needed, and they spend the time on learning that. So it takes time on learning process. You have to watch a couple of videos to understand all those things. So I already showed you, that's basically what I showed you here. Yun yung ginagawa namin sa team to edit the videos for clients. So once you master that, then you'll be able to serve clients in video editing. Okay, so questions. Do you have any questions or concern? Okay, so since Filmora yung pinakita ko sa inyo dito, just spend more time or a bit more time about Filmora. So master the editor of Filmora, and then you'll be able to implement this, what I showed you here, pretty easily. Okay? Yung zoom in, zoom out, like that. You could probably done better once you learn mga techniques. May tanong pa po ba? So we could end our training. So because it's ethics, almost 2 hours already. So how was your experience? Everyone here already have some video editing? At least. So yeah, you have to have a skill. So that's why we're learning. We're learning video editing, and it's going to be very simple to you later on once you master the basics of things. So again, you have a project, then you could watch this replay as I work, as I showed you the process, then you could do the project while you're watching the replay, so that you could apply it while you're learning. You apply what you have learned directly. So that will help you learn faster. Gutom na ako. So wala na pong tanong. I think let's end this call. Maraming pong salamat sa inyong presence and for really pursuing this career. And I really appreciate you doing that. And ito kasi yung one in the top of my mind is that once you learn the process, I know that if I'm going to need video editing later on, or whatever skills that I taught you here, I know that I could rely on you. Kung I could partner with you if we have clients that need those services. So as we're expanding, kasi you have gone through to our training. So kaya spend the time, invest the time. Okay, invest the time in learning, training, skills development. Thank you so much po sa lahat. Good night po. Have a great and wonderful night. Thank you all. Bye.